we talked a little bit before. Everybody on this call is either, is currently transitioning out of the military, looking for their next opportunity. I'd love for you to take a moment of time to really kind of, showcase your background, where you come from, and then, what you're doing now to basically give back to those that have served and, through what you're doing and through the foundation that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. So where do you want to begin, Matt?
Let's just start with your backstory. Where your where'd you come from? Your time in the Marine Corps, and then the transition out.
All right, yeah. So if we go before we join, obviously into the service, like many of you here, I've made poor decisions. Some of you can relate. I was expelled from high school, had numerous felonies at such a young age, probation and all that good stuff. Obviously didn't have that many opportunities outside of the military. So I did what any young man would do. I went into the military. I had what's called a pyeloplasty surgery. So essentially, I only have one kidney that fully functions. So I had to get a waiver, and as many of you know, getting a waiver for anything takes a long time. So I could not obviously go into the military until I got a waiver. I tried every branch. Everybody declined me, and essentially I was like, well, I can't really go in. Met this one Marine at the time, was this sergeant outside of his recruiting office, told him my situation, and he said, well, young man, I got the solution for you. I told him my problem. He said, well, we can take care of that. So thank you to Sergeant Wheatley. He got me into the United States Marine Corps. Obviously, there's many careers to go into, all that good stuff. Quite frankly, my recruiter didn't tell me any of that. I just told him my situation, looked at it as an easy meal ticket for himself. And I just told him I want to go in the infantry. So I did that, went in as a 0311. Anybody in here actually in the infantry was getting out that was a former infantry? Anybody?
Yeah, put a
Nobody?
one in the chat if you're infantry. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we don't have any infantry in here right now.
All right, never mind then. That doesn't okay, all good. Anyway, probably well, none of you probably know this now. Obviously, the environment's a little bit different. Obviously, there's a lot more structure and discipline, and it's very chaotic. Unfortunately for me, the unit I was in, a lot of these individuals were just coming off a combat deployment. Does anybody here suffer from PTSD or anything like that? Any mental health conditions? Does anybody relate to that? Anybody?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So some of you probably understand what I'm going to say. So these individuals came back, didn't get treated, and obviously my leadership was not in a position to be in leadership. They were very hostile towards all the new people coming into the unit. I'm not going to name names, but unfortunately, my leadership was not the best. Some of these individuals that were I was serving with ended up killing themselves because of the mental health conditions that they suffered. So I understand firsthand, what PTSD is, just from, dealing with it from other individuals, and I understand the cause and effect it has on the body, physically and mentally. So honestly, I got discharged medically from the military due to a field operation, and my unit at the time thought I was lying. And anyway, long story short is these people thought I was lying, and I got out medically, and the individuals that were in charge of me, it just became a mess. So my military experience wasn't the best, and I ruined a lot of relationships. Looking back at it, I was very, I would say, salty looking at how it was, but I'm very thankful for how everything played out, and I take responsibility for only things I can take responsibility for. And I forgive those who were in charge of me and are no longer here. So with that being said, I want you guys to realize this. I'm 21, 22. I just got out, was expelled from high school, don't really have that much military experience behind me. So I don't really have that many opportunities, right? Let's be quite frank with each other. So after coming back out, I started drinking again, started doing drugs, all that stuff that some of you probably have already dabbled into, or whatever the case may be. I would go to the gym just to try to escape reality, get my body moving, taking care of myself. And that felt good, right? Moving the body, staying strong, strong body, strong mind, keep pushing. I've essentially, I met this older man at this gym, kind of told him my vision. He kind of mentored me, and I told him what I experienced and what I want to do for other veterans, right? So I started this own personal fitness studio that I've been operating for the last 5 years. That's been very successful to help veterans with their holistic health because I understand firsthand what war does to the body, what it does to the brain, individuals coming out of the military that suffer the most because they lose their community, they're struggling with their transition, and they make poor decisions like myself and end up going nowhere in their life. And that's just a fact. So I'm trying to do everything I can from my own personal experience to help these individuals. So essentially, we started this program that's 3 months long that helps veterans completely for free with their physical, nutritional, and their spiritual well-being. And I've personally given over $250,000 in free services since I started this thing at 22 years of age. So that is a little bit about me.
No, man. Yeah, I know we spoke before, and I'm so glad to listen to your story again, Logan, because it's one that we don't hear very often on these calls, and we always hear about the success stories and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that yours is not a success story because it definitely is. It's a triumphant story, but sometimes we don't get into the backstory and hear about the low points a lot. And I know for veterans and losing that community as they transition out can be a devastating process, not to mention those that have gone through wartime, been deployed overseas, seen fellow service members killed in action or whatnot, or have even known folks with PTSD suffer and ultimately end up taking their own life. I'm sure that there are some folks that are connected to those individuals that have done so. But you've kind of taken that story and, like you said, kind of a passion of your own, um, and really transform that into an opportunity for service members to get connected through physical fitness. And you created Boots to Health, right? Boots to Health Foundation. Can you tell us about like the mission of Boots to Health Foundation, like where it started now, and where it's currently at? Probably what 2, 3 years on now.
Well, yeah, yeah. So I started my own fitness business and then I transitioned to a 501(c)(3). So I've been working on Boots to Health for the half a decade at this point. But yeah, so like I said, when I got out, I didn't have any money. Obviously, you don't make any. That's not true. You can make good money in the military if you're smart. Unfortunately, I wasn't in long enough to make that good money. I wasn't married. I didn't get all the extra benefits that you get. So you can make good money. So that is a lie. But obviously, I got out, only a couple of years into the service. I didn't really have any money. Like I said, no knowledge, no experience. And what was I gonna do, right? But I had this vision, I had this dream, and I knew that this program could help a lot of people, and it still is, and I'm very thankful for that. But I just knew that this thing, once it got off the ground, we could help a lot of people. So I took a big risk. I maxed out all my personal credit cards, $150,000 in personal debt that I took on at a very young age. So, I'm making $3,000 a month in interest payments, so I'm not afraid of taking risks, right? You got to take risks. And I had no kids, no wife, 22, 23. I'm gonna go for it, man. That's what life's all about. I'm not gonna wish when I'm on my deathbed that I do less crazier things, man. Because I'm gonna be honest, all of us on this call, one of us may die next week, and that's just the reality of the situation. And I don't want no regrets, so I'm going all in. Anyway, took a big risk, had a lot of stress, paying like 3,000 a month in interest payments alone, not even paying any of the principal. So the banks are just squeezing me, right? But I just kept working. I kept believing in the mission. I wasn't turning a profit, making any money, just barely paying any of my bills. But praise God, I was able to just make it through and finally start to build up a client base, build up a donor base, start making friends with people in politics, start making all the right contacts, and people were able to believe in me. And thankfully, I was able to pay off all my debts. And I got out of debt. I don't owe anybody any money, and I'm very thankful for that. But man, I'll tell you, man, I went to the ER a couple times because of how much stress I was under at 23 years of age. Because it's very stressful just to be in that kind of environment. But I mean, I took the risk, so I'll do it again. I will do it again.
No, I love that. And I've just posted the link to the Boots to Health Foundation.org website. And there's a lot of statistics on that site, right? 400 500 plus volunteered hours, right? 10 plus community programs. Can you take us through like what Boots to Health is focused on, and how you're kind of moving the goalposts for some of these veterans getting into this program, and then what you guys do ultimately to through the Boots to Health program.
Yeah, so essentially, Matt, it started out just as a gym, just to come get away and just to move your body. But one of the big stressors a lot of individuals that I was servicing, obviously, was the financial obligation, right? A lot of these services that we provide that are, to each veteran, many people most people can't afford, right? Like personal training is expensive, your own meal planning is expensive. Yes, there's great tools like AI, Chat GPT, or whatever the case may be, but there's one thing that people are going to run into, right? And that's accountability. AI can't hold you accountable. Like, let's be honest, we all probably use it. We've probably used it today. I mean, it's not going to hold you accountable. It's not going to make you go to the gym. It's not going to make you stick to your meal plan. It's not going to make you get out of bed. Yeah, it's a great teammate, but that's kind of what our program's all about, is just that community piece and having individuals come to the gym, make them feel wanted, because a lot of these individuals have their own personal struggles and stressors, and we just want to have people come in the community, man. So I wanted this program to be free, open gym, come work out, and no, just provide your DD 214. I'm giving veterans the opportunity to become personal trainers. I get them their certificates if they want it. I mean, dude, I'm doing everything I can for these people. Like, I mean, I can help you, but if you don't want the help, you're not going to get the help, right? Like, if you don't want to get off of drugs, you're not going to get off of drugs. It's the same thing. Like, I'm doing everything I can from a young age to get these individuals back into shape, to make them stay healthy. Because long term, none of us here wants high blood pressure. None of us doesn't want to be able to play with our kids, et cetera, right? We're all probably 20, 30, 40 years old in here, and we want to be there for our kids, our grandkids, and all that good stuff. And you can't do that if you're not healthy. So I'm trying to do everything I can to build these healthy habits for these individuals to sustain themselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was intrigued about your, that personal training certificate program that you guys that you offer through this foundation. And we've spoke to a lot of students before that looking to get into personal training or have that, maybe they took it from the military and it's a passion of theirs. What does that look like as far as individuals, coming to you, Boots to Health Foundation, looking to get that personal training certification? What would the steps be to do that through you?
Yeah, man. So we talked a little bit about this before. So the problem we were running into is we were paying for these individuals to, get their certification, and then there's no buy-in from them. So they would do it and then not do it, not pass, not take their courses. So obviously we have veterans now fill out that form on our website. We go through it through the board. If individuals are willing to pay their money up front to get their certification, then we will compensate them and pay for their certification. But they have to take the course, pass the course, show us that they completed the course, and then we will reimburse them for that certification. Because I'm not going to pay $2,000 for somebody not to do something. That is, one, taken away from somebody else, and two, that's very selfish. So I've learned the hard way that that's not how we're going to do things. Like, I run business a certain way, and if we're going to do this for you for free, then we want some kind of commitment out of you. You know what I'm saying? So we run things a certain way now.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I see, John, you've got your hand up. I want to give you the opportunity to ask your question, John. So go ahead.
Hey Logan, just want to say, man, you are one resilient person. I appreciate you coming on and kind of like share that experience with us here. But one question to you is, how close were you saying, man, I can't do this, right? You were like on that ledge of, I'm done. And how would you feel if you were just giving up on that?
Well, John, that's a great question. I'm not saying this in a joking way, but due to my own poor decisions, I have thought about killing myself a couple times, to be quite frank with you, because of the decisions I made. And I definitely think I would have regretted quitting, because I'm not the person to quit or give up on anything. I see things through. And I'm very thankful that God didn't allow that, so I can continue to help service more veterans. So.
Yeah, great question, John. And like I said, I appreciate your honesty and your openness, Logan, in this conversation, because I know sometimes it can be hard to discuss those things, but I appreciate your realness with the answers and your openness to discuss, kind of what you went through and your background and the struggles that you faced to get Boots to Health off the ground, to create your own gym, to give back to a community that you found yourself in and coming out of as well. Um, there are other services that you guys provide through Boots to Health, and I'd love for you to go through a couple of the other things that you guys do. Obviously, the personal training certificate program, which is amazing, being able to go in, get that, obviously that buy-in from you to go in and get the certification and that reimbursement program to have you basically make it for free. But what other things are you guys doing out there? I know you're not everywhere. So where are you located? And are you doing anything virtually online to help folks get started as well?
Yeah, so obviously we do some virtual coaching as well, man. Like you said, can't be everywhere as much as I would like to be. Is anybody here familiar with the University of Pennsylvania? I know we talked a little bit about this before, Matt, but did anybody ever heard of them, UPenn?
Yep, we got a couple, looks like.
Okay, so anyway, University of Pennsylvania created this web-based application for us. It's kind of going to be like our own Facebook page for Boots to Health, and we're going to be able to service many veterans throughout the United States with our programming. So we are located in central Pennsylvania, but this is going to open up the opportunity for us to connect with more veterans. So we're going to have like customized meal plans, fitness plans, like group pages, group workouts, online workouts, all this. This is going to be a huge community that this app's going to be done. Honestly, man, like I told you before, a lot of, web development has went into this, so this is going to be done any day now, and I'm very excited for this to be published and released to the public. But yeah, we're gonna be able to service a lot more people and give veterans their own community space. And one of the things that we did, which is pretty cool, is you cannot join the obviously the web page or the web app unless you're a veteran. So like you have to provide your DD-214 on there to join the web page because we want to keep it to a veteran community only. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Wow. Yeah, and I know we talked about that. It's been I think you said it's been about a year and a half in development to get this off the ground, get that in people's hands and in their pockets essentially. But you do a little bit more than just the physical coaching and stuff like that and meal planning. There's a lot more that goes into it. And what's been the feedback from the community, the folks that you've helped personally and through this program? What's been the feedback of what you're doing to help people out?
Well, to be honest with you, man, a lot of people call me crazy when I first started. But honestly, a lot of people are very, in their words, are very grateful for people like me that want to help the veteran community because there's a lot of nonprofits that are out there just collecting a whole bunch of money and not really doing anything. So it's good that we're able to give direct services to veterans and not be just another veteran nonprofit that's not doing anything. So we've had very good feedback. So.
No, that's fantastic. And I think you've got your impact reports on that website that I shared earlier. You can go take a look at those impact reports from 2023 and 2024. That's on the websites. What's the next step for Boots to Health, and what's the next vision for over the next year to 5 year plan for you, Logan?
Yeah, so the next year, and the big thing we're working on now, Matt, is obviously we're gonna do a fundraising campaign. I want to have a open gym 24/7 to every veteran in the state of Pennsylvania. So I need to raise $2.5 million to make that happen. So we're gonna be doing a whole bunch of big marketing, towards that. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff going live next year, especially around, not next year, next month around Veterans Day. So we're gonna be doing a big push for that, obviously, because we have proof of concept and this is direct cause and effect. What are we trying to solve? What solution are we bringing to this problem? And we clearly define what the solution is long term. So that is something I'm going to be working on.
Oh, absolutely. And is the vision, because obviously you have your own gym up there in PA, right? Something that you created yourself to get people involved in. Is the plan is to roll this out as a community based where gyms across the United States can join your mission to get back to the veteran community? Is that part of the game plan to grow this thing nationwide?
That long term, that would be one of our avenues. Yes.
No, I think what you're doing, Logan, and what you've created is simply amazing. And I appreciate everything that you do to help the veteran community out, those that are struggling with mental health and, getting back into that physical aspect of, mind, body, soul. And I know that we've got students that are passionate about fitness. If there's folks that are on this call that want to get involved, what's the easiest way to get involved with you and help your mission out and be a part of Boots to Health long term as you guys grow and facilitate these amazing programs?
Yeah, so if anybody wants to get involved or anybody has any extra questions that I don't want to ask in front of everybody, I'm more than happy to answer them, take time. Just email us at boosttohealthfoundation@gmail.com. Just say that I spoke on this call, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions about entrepreneurship, all that good stuff. So I've been doing this for 5 years now. I don't know everything. I'm still learning, but you can learn from my mistakes, certainly. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, if you have any questions for Logan on this call, obviously, as you guys know, just go ahead and click that raise hand button. I'll give you a shout so you can ask your question. If you don't want to ask in front of anybody here, obviously reach out to Logan personally. I'll share his LinkedIn to the chat as well, so you guys can have an opportunity to connect with Logan offline and find out more about what he's doing, his background, and then the mission that he's on to help support our veteran community. But no, I greatly appreciate you coming, Logan, and everything that you do and continuing to do to pour back into the military community. If there's one thing that you could leave our students with as they're going through this transition process, what is that one piece of advice that you can tell our students today to help motivate them to continue and persevere through whatever their struggles are?
Well, certainly, Matt. Well, if I can do it, then you can certainly do it. And nobody's going to come save you. Let's be quite frank. After this call is over, you don't care about me, and that's a reality situation. Many people don't care about you, and you got to do it for you and your family, and just keep moving forward. So that's it.
No, I appreciate that, Logan. Like I said, if you got questions, please raise your hand. If not, Logan, I appreciate your time today, telling us what your backstory, where you came from, and what you have created through the hurdles and struggles that in your own life to give back and pay it forward to others. I wish you all the best with Boots to Health. Hopefully, those that are on this call that want to get involved will reach out to you and ask you questions and see if they can assist you in your mission to connect with more veterans struggling. No, I greatly appreciate you, Logan. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you, man. Have a good time watching football this weekend. Enjoy it. Later, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Appreciate it, Logan. All right. Yeah, no, he's got a great mission. Like I said, something that he created himself out of his own struggles, his own basically dark places that he was in, that he saw his fellow combat arms folks in. If you do have any additional questions or something comes up that you want to talk to Logan about, go ahead and reach out to him. That LinkedIn's right there. I shared his link to his actual foundation. Connect with him and see if there's anything you can do to help out the community. But I think part of this too is no matter what, something that I think is near and dear to our hearts here at Seven Eagle Group is if you are struggling, if there is a loss of community that you are feeling through this transition process, we want to make sure that you guys understand that we're here for you, no matter what you're going through. I hope that you know that you can contact us at any time. We will reach back out to you and help you out in any way and get you connected with any resource that we can to help facilitate you in this walk, in this transition into from service to civilian life. And part of that may be getting into fitness, right? Something that helps strengthen your body, obviously, but also may clear your mind as well. So if you are struggling, please say something. Let people know. We've got a community here of support amongst each other, everybody on this call, but also here at Seven Eagle Group as well. So please let us know if you need anything from us to help you go forward. But no, that was it, guys. Do you guys got any questions for me before I kind of give our last statements here today? Anything at all? Matrix is nope. Not me. All right. Well, I'm going to start. Let's see if I thought Tyler was in the room here. Oh, maybe he's not. All right. Well, I'm gonna start off early then, because I'm gonna have you guys enjoy your Labor Day weekend as quickly as possible. But I want to start out, if there's any wins of the week that you guys would like to share with anybody, any interviews, any success stories that you guys have, I'd love to hear them. I'd love for you guys to share that really quick with us, so we can celebrate you guys in what you're doing and the milestones that you're making, the hurdles that you're overcoming in your walk and in your transition process. So please, I mean, if anything comes up, personal or professional, I'd love to hear it, love to share, and celebrate you guys on your wins. Go ahead, Philip.
I just want to let everybody know. So I went to a hiring fair this week. It didn't necessarily have a job I was wanting, but I mean, at this point, I was like, screw it, whatever. Walked in, they walked me up to a recruiter, sat down, did a quick 10-minute interview. And I mean, she said she didn't have any opening positions, but she's like, man, your resume is amazing. We're going to get back with you. Kind of just worked out. And I talked to another recruiter and they just said, just go to hiring fairs. Even if there's nothing there that you necessarily want, just get your name, face out there so they see it. That job does come open. So I got invited to another one after that. So we'll see what happens.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I wish you all the best of luck on that. And I know we spoke one-on-one before. And again, I wish you all the best in that. Hopefully they do call you back as soon as possible. And they have an opportunity that you can get connected with as well. So go ahead, Matrix.
So I have like on Tuesday, I met this guy, messaged me on LinkedIn. He did the same thing that I'm doing with propulsion, only for F-15s. He does like he works with like SkillBridge for a company called Milvet, I think. And so he wanted to connect with me on Tuesday to like talk about possible like opportunities for work down here in Florida and like different programs that he offers and stuff like that. So I think that was like the most networking actual success that I've had this week so far. I've been reaching out to a lot of people, but he's been like the only one to like answer.
No, that's great, man. And if obviously you're in SkillBridge with us, but if there's somewhere we can work with them, if they have a SkillBridge program and to help you facilitate that transition over to them, just let us know so we can help connect you with that opportunity so you can start, right away.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to stay with you guys, but I think he was just talking more so about like outside job opportunities and like programs that he offers and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate that update, man. That's awesome. Go ahead, Mace.
On I guess it'd be Tuesday because of the holiday. I start with my on-the-job training with Launch TWS. They're a aerospace company. Yeah, I just did my foundations week and I'm going straight into my on-the-job training. So it's a pretty big win.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, man. I'm glad that you were able to get connected with them. Matrix, if that's also another opportunity, we can get you. We can try to get you connected with TWS as well because they're in aerospace, and they help get people